Picks and bans for game number 1, Samsung versus Longzhu. Looks like Rek'Sai is going to be the first ban. Longzhu bans out Callista against Stitch.
Yeah, did play Callista in both of the last 2 games, so definitely ban-worthy there, considering that he was able to clean up a lot of these kills. Lissandra actually going to be banned by Longzhu here, and Fiora taken out of the pool for Expression. So we won't see Kube on that champion either. Kube has been liking to blind pick the Olaf. It's definitely something that's worked out very nicely for them.
I really wonder if we're going to see some different bans. Like we mentioned a little bit earlier, we are on 6.1 now. So a couple of the nerfs, couple of the changes have come in.
So no MF ban, but GP still available. Now GP did get some nerfs to his passive, so it's harder to deal with that, but of course his strength still, with his barrel zoning, very strong. With MF's nerfs, we'll probably see less of a priority on that particular champion.
Well, I mean, we've already seen probably the least priority we've seen yet on MF, not banned or picked in the first rotation by either team. I don't think I've seen that yet this season.
She's fallen through the draft a couple of times, but it's been definitely a rarity. So Corki and Nidalee, the hovers here, Longzhu did do very well with that Corki Jace poke composition, and they played it on the red side where they could last pick Jace.
Yeah.
So that's certainly something.
ADs.
And
yes,
we've seen Longzhu put a premium on long-range poke. Coco has played Jason Lux so far in their 2 games, and Chaser's going to switch it over to the Elise here.
Okay.
So with the Rek'Sai ban, they're going to take the next priority jungler if you want a lot of control. And it just depends on how you want to equip your composition. If you want to go for an AD carry in the jungle, then you might want to consider having a tankier top lane. You can go full burst too. We've seen some kind of Graves, Lissandra, LeBlanc combinations in EU and in the LPL.
Deciding to take that Corki probably to the mid lane for Coco, I would think.
Well, they played an AD carry last time with Jace mid, so there's no guarantees on that, and especially since they're red side, they're going to wait to flex that for sure.
True.
Lulu, surprisingly still available.
Yeah, that's a good point. A champion that was banned out most of last week. Not all of last week. The Alistar wouldn't be too surprising.
Well, Lulu Alistar would be strong. Kube could play the GP in the top lane, and they'd have some decent wave clear early to help that Gangplank scale.
Yeah.
And provide still a front line with Alistar, so that's what we're going to see.
I like it. It's a very safe draft by Samsung. You know, they're just kind of waiting for their bot lane until they have as much information out of Longzhu as they can, since they don't quite know where that Corki's going to go. I think it's good. It's safe, but it's good.
Okay.
That's one of the only times you'll hear me say safe is a good thing. Think of
yeah, that's actually surprising coming from you.
I know. I think it's a smart draft in the circumstance, though.
All right, well, they could go Trundle again, and this is looking awfully like their Corki Jace composition from last week if they do choose that particular champion. And no, it will be a mid lane Corki, so they're showing their hand early here.
Yeah. And
they're saving their top laner for the last pick, Bard, so they have some long-range initiation.
Okay. Ezreal's pretty strong these days. He's back with the blue build again.
Yeah,
seen this before.
The problem for Longzhu is they're not going to know where the GP and the Lulu are going, because those are flex picks between mid and top lane, which makes it hard for them to actually pick a top laner here. That's why I'm a bit surprised. Ezreal will be the AD carry selection. A bit odd, considering that you don't normally pair Lulu with Ezreal. You pair it with auto-attacking AD carries that can really get on the front line. But Graves could serve that purpose too if Ambition is going to play that pick in the jungle.
I mean, you've also got Alistar initiating too, so you've got a good wild growth target as far as some sort of wombo combo goes with that. And they're going to go with the Graves in the jungle, it looks like.
All right, so Ambition on a high damage jungler this time. They have Lulu for the Graves and the Gangplank to provide some protection. Yeah. Pretty low range composition as far as things go, though that GP and that Graves are going to get quite close, but they have a lot of kiting potential with the barrels and a blue build Ezreal, and a huge amount of burst damage.
Yeah, and LZ sees that, and I think it'd be not a bad idea to pick up this Mundo too. They need somebody to be pretty tanky.
Or Malphite, honestly.
Yeah, Malphite is fine too. I mean, that gives him a little bit more initiation than the Bard does, in a very good way too.
Well, you can follow up on a Bard ult too. Or the Gnar will work as a follow-up to a Bard ultimate. And
anything fairly tanky, you know?
well, you have to have some sort of big AoE initiation, which is why I don't really like the Mundo pick here. If Pure is going to land a multi-man Bard ult, then it'll get Malphite and Gnar in position to follow up ults the enemy team for the engagement. So I prefer this pick. I think it's smart. And it's also a very safe pick against either GP or Lulu in the laning phase.
True. So which is it going to be? We'll see how Samsung shuffles things around. Right now they've got Gangplank in the mid lane for Crown, which may be where they'll leave it, but they can switch it. They have until 40, I believe.
It wouldn't give them a lot of wave clear in mid early, which with the early power spike of Lucian and Corki, they may lose mid turret if Longzhu can put enough pressure on the mid lane in the earlier stages of this game when Corki hits his Trinity Force power spike. So that would be my major concern. You've got a lot of scaling that has to be done from the Ezreal too, because he gets very relevant to the late game, but does have some trouble early.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Seems like a little bit of a risky comp for Longzhu, though. They need a lot of coordination for something like this.
Yeah, but it's also so much scaling from Samsung, and they're probably going to want to lane swap with the blue Ezreal instead of having him lane versus Lucian Bard. And in that case, you end up with a situation where all outer turrets in the side lanes can be down, and that'll actually make it easier for Coco and Captain Jack to group and take down mid. So I don't know about this. We'll see how it goes.
Well, we've seen a lot of the lane swaps here in Korea. A lot of the milling around in mid for most of the game.
Well, the mid-milling is going to be real, but Longzhu definitely has an advantage.
Well, let's see if they can pull it off, guys. Longzhu versus Samsung. Game 1. It's time to get in the game.
Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands.
Whoa, you can't cut off the chorus in the middle like that. Come on.
That is an awesome new intro, by the way.
That's
definitely one of my favorite regular season intros that we've ever had.
I think it's better than everything we had last year.
I love the shot at the end with all of the players on the staircase.
Yeah, dude. Well, welcome to Summoner's Rift. Longzhu versus Samsung. Our first game of our second week here at OG Champions of Gangplank. What are you doing, Batty?
So
Lay off the caffeine, man.
it's the grog, man.
It's all for his grog. It's Jolly Jolly Grog, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it is. But it's definitely not all for his tobacco, which is
Yeah, that's
right out of League of
firmly
Legends.
banned. Drinking is okay. Tobacco, right out.
I'm
The
just sad.
silent killer, Monte.
I'm just sad that Gangplank in Korea no longer says yo ho ho rumju.
He doesn't?
No, they changed his voice.
Oh no, I didn't know they changed it. I didn't know they took out that line.
Yeah, it's sad.
That was fun. Back when we played LOL on the PC Bong, and GP would say, "Oh, rumju,"
So
which
Ju,
basically means like a bottle of rum.
yeah, Ju is the word for alcohol in Korean, but it sounds really funny when he says it. Yo ho ho rumju. Well, not anymore. The humor is gone. It's been stripped away from this game,
Oh well.
and
we
all
have to-
that's left is Thunderlords.
That's right. No, it's 6.1. Maybe people. No, it's still pretty much
Nope,
Thunderlords.
it's Thunderlords.
Yeah, all right. Well, they tried. They tried at least. It's okay. Oh, we have it.
Look, there's the Thunderlords.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, Thunderlords confirmed.
We made it 2 minutes in this game without Thunderlords, but then it was back.
Almost 2 minutes. Not quite. Not quite. And surprisingly, no lane swap too.
Yeah, I actually am quite surprised about that. Samsung definitely had a hard decision to make. Either you're in that position where that early power spike could lose you your mid turret, or you're laning with a blue build Ezreal, which neither of these options is awesome, as you can see. Pure,
Thunderlords.
Yep, pure landing. A Q right there, and Thunderlord's Bard is pretty good.
Yeah. Thunderbard.
I bet you like that, Doa.
I do.
Do you take Thunderlords on all your supports?
I take like one of the tanky ones on Trundle. But that's just because
You're such a quitter.
That's just because I'm bad at positioning and I like to get in people's faces. That's why. Just making up for my own deficiencies. And I take the Wind Speaker's Blessing, the shield one, the
Yep.
buff, shield healing buff when I play like Nami and stuff.
I don't know. I think this is a disservice to your
I know.
alleged bloodthirstiness.
It's
Well,
true.
this is
Ambition.
an interesting gank already.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
No Mad Life to save you now. First blood goes over to Longzhu. Looks like Chaser's going to pick that one up. Ambition's like, yep, I was in my own jungle this time.
Well, I mean, honestly, Samsung never called the MIA, or he didn't listen to it or something, because Pure simply walked up through the river, through Tribe Rush into that gank, and the pathing that Chaser had from red buff to red buff. So this is a very smart play from Longzhu. They knew they had the advantage early in the laning phase. They pushed the wave and opened Pure up for that roam. Just great jungling there from Chaser. And what do you expect? We talk about this guy as probably the best jungler in Korea. And when he gets advantages like this, he will not stop. So I'm very curious what Chaser is going to do right now. When I look at Chaser, I think of him as like a shutdown jungler. When he starts to get an advantage in a specific lane, he won't gank other places. He will just gank that same lane 1,000,000 times and basically remove a player from the enemy team.
Well, he's just very, very good at taking advantage of the lead, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we saw a lot of that from his former co-jungler Wing when they stopped SKT last week.
Duke got wrecked.
Yeah.
But in that way, it's a kind of specific style, because it's not like Chaser. There are different ways to make leads, right? You could take your lead and then move it to a different lane and try and help somebody out. No, Chaser will just absolutely wreck one lane over and over and over again.
Just tilt them, bro.
Yeah, well, it works.
Sure does.
But interesting little strategy there from Chaser. Nice job with the Lucian Bard lane, which is a very strong lane duo in the early game.
A lot of poke, a lot of sustain,
especially
against escapability.
Blue build Ezreal. Really great read on the composition from Longzhu, and that's going to get them first blood and a quick edge.
Yeah. Crown just TPing back to lane there, not wanting to miss any XP or CS or any other acronyms. Don't want to miss any of them. Nice binding onto Stitch. A little bit more damage. Wraith pushing Jack away for now. Pure actually takes a big amount of damage from Stitch.
Yeah,
Be a little bit careful there.
You are squishy. You walk up like that. Good play by Wraith, hunting Jack out, then pulving Bard so that Stitch can return some of that damage. Stitch actually doing okay in terms of CS here.
Put the sugar in the hot chocolate.
I think it's a mallow.
Put the mallow in the hot chocolate. Whatever. Put the lotion in the basket. I don't know. Put something in something. They need like a Buffalo Bill Bard skin where it has like a basket like lotion goes.
Wow, and he's wearing the skins?
Oh, man.
Bard would do something like that. His motivations are very unclear.
Yeah, true. I mean, he just shows up and like takes an artifact and lets everyone else die in his like little animation thing.
Yeah, I suppose he probably also just kills people, takes them away, and skins them.
Bard gives zero cares for people. Chaser brutally murdering a ward in the jungle. This lane ended up being fairly even overall, CS-wise. Crown and Coco going pretty even in the mid lane as well. Just that slight advantage from the first blood for Longzhu right now.
That's really good for Crown, though, going even like that. So he's going to be able to consistently get that CS. But you can see the lack of pressure on the bottom side of the map here, and that's going to open Chaser up a lot for counter jungling on the enemy red side.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does. He's been actually playing pretty conservatively with the lead he has right now, but Ambition really taking a hit early. Has gone for the Tracker's Knife and is starting to build into a Warrior Enchantment, but...
We've been seeing a lot of that, though. Trackers has been extremely popular.
Yeah, Ambition doing a little counter jungling himself right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Expression just TPing right back to lane. Nice timing from Ambition to take the Raptor camp while Expression was back. He's going to be able to grab that right out from under Chaser's nose.
Yeah, Chaser gets there just a little bit too late. He's got 8 legs, so you'd think it would carry him faster, but no, didn't get there in time.
Does number of legs correlate to speed?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Have you ever seen like one of those centipedes move, man? They're terrifying.
That's why Odin's horse, 8-legged horse, was so fast, right?
Are you referring to Sleipnir?
Sleipnir, yes.
Yeah, 8-legged horse. Yeah, see? The ancient Norse knew about it.
More legs is more horsepower.
What would make our god even more impressive? I know, let's give him a horse with 8 legs.
It's pretty awesome.
Someone's like, well, what if it had wings and flew? They're like, no, more legs. Like, I really think if it flew, it'd just be able to go over mountains and stuff. No, man, if it had 8 legs, it could walk up the side. Way easier. It's like one of those Skyrim horses, man.
Skyrim appropriate for Norse mythology.
Exactly.
Well, in the meantime, Bard on the roam as they have the pressure in the bottom side does manage to steal away that blue buff, so trying to slow Crown down just a little bit right there. Nice little buff steal, and that'll mean that Chaser and Pure now on the bottom side. They have to be careful though. Pure is quite squishy, so
I was gonna say, I mean, it looks like they're trying to set up for Dragon, but if they lose Pure or something, that plan just goes out the window. So gotta curb the enthusiasm a little bit.
I don't know if they're going to do Dragon quite this early. It's a bit of a risk now that Stitch is back with his Sheen, but
that's a point in my solo queue games where I'd call for a Dragon and then my team would lose. So throwing that out there.
The Lord of the Dragon throw.
But if they would have followed my ping faster, we totally could have done it.
Ambition just pops over the wall and Buckshot cues you.
Yep. That's what happens. I'm like, Ambition, what are you doing in silver for? I'm like, oh, never mind. I don't know what I expected.
Yeah, a lot of, not much action so far. And
not a lot.
But it's a methodical game from Longzhu. Get the first blood, start to take away that blue buff. Coco has gotten at least a little bit of damage down on the turret, but Crown with that TP able just to get right back into lane when he needs to. And just building Ross health and mana as he works his way to that Trinity Force, so taking the base stats he needs just to lane right now, no hurry. But Samsung, it's all about scaling for them. As soon as you get the GP and the Ezreal fully operational, it's going to be very difficult for Longzhu to engage properly.
I mean, so what does Longzhu do in the meantime? Like, how do they grab the edge in this game when Samsung's playing so defensively?
Well, it's going to be tough for them because they're not exactly using the advantage that they had in mid lane very well. It'll come down to what happens when Coco gets that Trinity Force and how well they can group, but they need to start looking for turrets early.
Seems that way.
It's not
so far, though, they haven't really done much damage to any of the turrets.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to be weak in the late game, but Samsung is going to be quite scary, so they have to be worried about that. And again, once the Ezreal completes blue build, it's just ridiculously hard to engage on them. They have Alistar to counter and engage, they have Lulu with Wild Growth to counter and engage, they have GP barrels, they have Iceborne Gauntlet, so Longzhu is going to have to land some extremely good Bard ults if they want to be competitive in the late game.
Yep. Coco's got his package with him, but hasn't really found a chance to use it yet.
You know, sometimes the threat of the package is more useful than the package itself.
It's a threatening package, man.
It is, very threatening. Gangplank's very intimidated right now.
I mean, his package is so big, you'd think it'd weigh him down. I'm surprised he can still move that quickly with such a big package.
I mean, it has rockets on it, so
I guess
it does help.
It's a
with the momentum.
self-propelling package. Oh, it's gone.
Must have used it.
Did he? Or does it just go away if you don't use it?
Ambition coming in for a gank.
Yeah, that's right. Kube's already pretty low, but Expression still needs to run for it here. No Mega anytime soon. There's a flash. Ambition, can he catch him? They're going to try to slow him down with the GP ultimate. There's a Wild Growth with a knock-up, and Ambition finally gets a kill. That's going to lead to Longzhu taking this first Dragon, though. Yeah,
nice ring of wards from Longzhu means they can immediately move on to the Dragon as soon as they see Graves in the top side. Expression trying to flash early, but he didn't have any wards really to save him up there. And that means that they're going to try and push this with the help of the Graves and trade a turret right now. Expression does have TP. He can TP back in, but it looks like he's just going to be slightly too late.
Well, I don't even think Longzhu can get this bottom turret all that quickly.
No, they can't. Yeah. But they do get the Dragon, so they do get a damage buff. So nice first tower there from Samsung, who takes advantage of that situation. And it's one of the nice things about having a champion like Graves, very nice wave clear in lane, which allows you to push quite hard.
Yep.
If you are able to take out a solo laner, you can just join up with your team solo laner and then work down a tower pretty quickly.
Very true. Crown just using his teleport once again to get back to lane to try to sustain the health on that as much as he can. But it's down to about half health now.
Coco's been doing some work even through the TP use of Crown.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, Corki's just going to be able to poke a lot harder than Gangplank is over an extended period of time. Still got good wave clear, of course.
Yeah, well, especially now as he starts to get up in levels.
And Spooky Ghosts already taken by Pure.
Yeah, we're not really good.
Not yet.
We're not going to see. We're not good. We are going to. I mean,
We're still going to see him.
we're going to see it a lot. It's not really nerfed that badly on 6-1.
Yeah.
So it needs to be nerfed more. Further nerfs for Spooky Ghosts required.
Ghostbusters. That's what we need to call.
The Riot Line Balance team.
That's right.
They're not busting Ghosts very well, though.
Not really.
All right, so here's another attempt at the blue buff. Chaser has his eyes on it, but Kuve falling back means that they're not going to risk this, especially since Corky's not in lane right now. So they actually do have to give this one back up. Crown will secure it. Not ideal recall timing from Coco to make that play a reality, but they have a very good idea of where Graves is now, and Ambition is here.
Oh, Chaser gets found. That's a decent amount of burst from Ambition. They use the GP ult. Pure takes the shortest magical journey I've ever seen, but they get out.
I am really surprised that Chaser didn't expect Captain Jack, or Ambition rather, to be in that brush, considering he knew that he was just in the blue buff and could have easily pathed over to the Raptors right there, taking a risk that costs him his flash.
Maybe they just missed it, I guess. Special getting a tiny bit of damage on the tier 1 up in top, but he's already lost his long ago.
So the Gentleman Gnar skin throws Big Ben, right?
Does it really?
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Or at least a generic Clock Tower, but it looks like Big Ben. If you were a giant monster, what building would you throw, Noah?
I think if it's in League of Legends, the clock would be called Big Brom or something. You know, you can't just take the name; it has to be league related.
Does it?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think Big Ben is trademarked or copyrighted or anything like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, Roethlisberger's been using that for years. You know? He's like, I really like that clock in London. I'm going to use that for my football alias. It was just pure coincidence. So I believe time is up for him this season.
It is.
Jack, wow, a lot of damage on the Wraith.
Thanks to the Broncos.
Yep. I guess I have to cheer for them now that the Packers are out, huh?
I suppose. I think everybody should cheer for the Broncos. They're a great football team.
I think everyone should just cheer for the not-Patriots.
We can both agree on that, though.
That's true.
But fortunately this week, those are one and the same thing.
Yes, it all comes together. And it all might come together for a big dive here in bot lane against Samsung Longzhu. Oh, they're going to find Wraith. Wraith gets in there, flashes out actually, gets a nice pulverize, pops that out just in time to live. That was a bit surprising. I'm shocked that Wraith actually survived that.
Yeah, it does get out with the help of his flash, and nice immediate drop of the GP ult too to deal some damage.
Yeah.
Probably not going to stop Longzhu from taking this turret in the end.
Well, it stops him from getting a couple kills at least.
Yeah, surprisingly we didn't see any TPs from the top side.
And it may actually save that turret for a while. Not bad.
Definitely not. They try and set up for that catch. Don't quite manage to get it thanks to the unbreakable will of Alistar.
Let's
take a look at that again. Oh, yeah, just take a look as this comes in right now.
Wow, what a heads-up play.
Yeah, very nice by Wraith. Good reaction time. He's near the top of the KDA in supports. He's difficult to kill.
I mean, you know people like say you never know if you're like the fight or flight type of person until you end up in one of those like life or death situations. We know that Wraith is the fight type because he got caught at like a third health and he's like, I better go in. I like it. That's what I like.
And then flash out.
Yeah, and then flash out. I mean, you get in there, you get the CC done. And then he's like, why didn't you guys follow up? 3 easy kills. I'd be raging.
What else is new? Well, this is a slow game for Longzhu. They're behind in gold, which is not a great position considering their start to this game and the fact that Samsung is going to be quite scary with their scaling later on.
Yeah, it seems like Longzhu needs to make something happen in the near future.
Well, they do. I mean, Coco has Trinity Force. He's even managed to pick up a BF sword beyond that, but they still have yet to effectively chip down his turret. Ambition now here. And another defensive Gangplank ultimate just to clear out the wave. So Samsung has a good idea that they just need to wait right now, play back, and they can give up these dragons. They're not going to be too concerned with that. At this juncture, they've got a lot of time to work with to deny a dragon later, and they certainly have an immense number of zoning tools to play around a dragon as long as they get there first a little bit later on. So 2 not the biggest deal.
True enough. Overall, gold even, but like you said, it's all about that scaling for Samsung.
Yeah, just get your items,
The
no
late
problem.
game. Yeah, just get your items, don't die, don't take dumb fights.
Yeah, they're reacting very well to the aggression. Besides that kind of cheese gank that happened early in this game, they've been performing admirably. But this is it. Longzhu actually going to get in there right now. Only one person in that bottom lane means that the three-man stack Chaser coming down and helping out with a few autos from his Elise. One of the nice things about running a ranged jungler like that is the ability to help very easily with turret pressure.
Look, Specian finally able to put some of his own pressure up onto top lane.
Yeah, Kube is not built very well for dealing with auto harass from Expression, and it's been slowly taking a toll on that turret, and Crown is starting to hurt, as you can
Yes,
see.
he is. He's gonna get those big crits at this point. Stitch gonna go back. Let's see what he buys. Probably has enough for that Iceborne, maybe.
Yeah, should get that, maybe pull down boots.
Yep. There you go. Iceborne Gauntlet.
Oh, nothing else. Oh, nope.
Oh, pure. Taking a little bit of damage. Whoa, magical journey. Into the brush. It's interesting.
Gets out safely, but this is where Longzhu needs to shine. They have to have a potent mid game and get the remainder of these outer turrets down. They've swapped up to attempt to do just that. Chaser moves into the top side of the map right now just to make sure that they have the control, taking that scuttle crab away. Crown sitting next to a turret that's almost dead, and it's going to really depend on how Ambition reacts here. He hasn't been able to use the early game power of this Graves burst to make plays thanks to falling behind pretty quickly. And Chaser's here and gonna hit him.
Oh yeah, got him with the cocoon, taking a ton of damage. Bard locking everybody up, wants to get there, but it lets Ambition back away. Chaser now the one taking a ton of damage as Crown comes in, looking for the kill. True Shot Barrage comes over the top, doesn't save Crown though, unfortunately, and LZ comes away with another kill.
Yeah, they get it right there. They do. That was impressive, actually, that they started that. They thought they might be able to get Ambition onto Graves, and Samsung tried to turn it around, but they can't quite actually finish it off. And the Bard ult there from Longzhu looked a bit questionable as it hit Chaser,
Definitely.
but they did manage to grab the kill, and they also get the mid lane turret, so this is exactly what Longzhu needs right now.
Yeah, that Bard ult I don't know about. I mean, I feel like it may have even saved Ambition in that situation.
Oh, it definitely did. I mean, he came out afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they would have had quite enough damage to kill him right there, but it certainly helped. Didn't save Crown in the end. Went a little bit too deep.
Well, yes.
But this is the moment now. This is the moment where Longzhu really needs to push and really needs to make something happen. They've got themselves a kill. They've got nearly that turret up in top lane now.
You can't respond to the aggression like we saw Crown do right there. If Ambition lives and you hold on to mid tower and just can continue scaling, that's the win right now. Crown doesn't need to play aggressively this quickly into the game. It's not important to his team comp's win conditions, and he's going to pay a pretty steep price for it. Not only giving up the kill, but giving up his turret finally, when he probably could have held that for a few more minutes and bought just that much more time.
Yep.
Makes it a lot easier for Longzhu to control the dragon right now, already having those two stacks.
Captain Jack managing to dodge that True Shot Barrage, so he'll be able to get a little bit more damage in on that top turret. It's nearly down.
And you see that CS differential really has opened up. This is a product of having the blue Ezreal in lane early. Challenging to make it work. And there we go, another GP ult used just to clear out a minion wave. It's the last turret left though, their last remaining point of defense on the top side of the map. So holding that is pretty crucial. You can see they've committed to that with wards and the entrances to that top side jungle.
Yeah, I mean, if that turret goes down, I mean, that's a huge problem for Samsung, because suddenly those two dragons that Longzhu got become, you know, that much scarier, because now they're going to have map control over the dragon, but for probably the rest of the game if they want it.
Yeah, they will. And Chaser, you can see here, going for that fast Randuin's, anticipating the GP.
Oh, Ambition caught again, actually snared twice. Chaser coming in for the damage. Ambition trying to back away, gets over the wall. They're going to knock up Chaser as Wraith comes in and pops his ultimate. No deaths here.
Yeah, but by chunking out Ambition and committing to the top side with that TP, they now are in a very good position to finally kill this top lane turret. You see Jack and Pure immediately coming back up into the top lane. They get some deep wards down, and Jack is just left alone on the top side. So mission accomplished for Longzhu. By 23 minutes, they take all the outer turrets. Now, it's only a 2K gold lead, and Samsung's composition is still scary late. But with these outer turrets down faster, all of a sudden they open up that bottom side where they still have 2 turrets in mid and bot to control the dragon, and considering they already have 2 dragon buffs, this puts them in a really good position just to scale for 5 dragons.
Yeah. It is a bit scary if you're Samsung. Just delaying to the late game doesn't seem like as appealing of an option anymore.
Well, they really need to commit to this dragon. It's up in 5 seconds. Getting this would be absolutely huge for their stall tactics.
Yep.
And they've got good wards. They have good wards in the enemy jungle. And look at this.
Oh, Pure.
Longzhu just not ready for this.
Yeah, they don't exactly know where it is. Oh, they get Ambition with that ultimate. Is there enough of a follow-up? Doesn't look like it. There's a flash. They get him with the cocoon, though. Ground zoning with that explosive cast. Keep LZ away.
So Pure knew he was still in that brush, even though he didn't have a ward in there, and was able to get enough damage with the help of the culling. Especially now pushing up the mid wave. Corki is not here, but Chaser has the execute. Coco's coming around with the package.
And Longzhu got the dragon. Coco could try to flank. I mean, Longzhu already got what they need. Expression coming from the side. Are they going to catch some people? Looks like they've separated Wraith away. Meanwhile, Ambition caught again. Wild Growth, big knock-up onto Longzhu. Longzhu gets a double kill, though, for Coco. And they're going to take it, man. They got the dragon. They got that double kill in the team fight win. I think they'll be satisfied with that. They may even be able to just move right up to Baron.
I mean, Ambition's dead, so is Wraith. They could at least get a couple more kills out of a Baron engagement.
They could
you
try.
see the ward going down from the blue trinket, and this is going to be a forced engage here from Samsung.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage is not up, so no way to take a big chunk out of Longzhu in the pit. Gonna try it. Pure very low. Oh boy, gotta be careful there. Baron getting low. It's getting a bit scattered now. Stitch throwing in some Qs from the side. The Baron does go over to Longzhu. Now they need to ditch engage, and they do with that magical journey. Nice job. True Shot Barrage not hitting anyone, which is good because it probably would have killed Chaser and Pure.
Wow, that whole sequence of events was so well shot called from Longzhu. First off, it started with Pure being the only one of his team there. I was worried that no one from Longzhu was going to get there in time to contest the dragon, but he bought the time necessary right as Jack gets there, lands the culling after the ultimate, and the cocoon used by Chaser and Bard makes up for the time, gets everybody there around the objective, they take it, and then they immediately engage. Expression's rage on Gnar was perfect for that moment for the flash in. Look at the setup here, just absolutely wonderful, especially going to come in, slam 2 members in the wall. Ambition takes the Wild Growth, but it isn't enough. 2 quick kills for Coco using the range from that Corki and the package that he had at the start of that fight. Really nicely done, and then transitioning immediately into that 24-minute Baron. Very nice snowballing here from Longzhu. They've done almost everything right this game. It started slow, but they managed to get the picks and the transition them every time into an objective.
Yeah, and this is really the big story with Longzhu, right? Is how long is it going to take them to develop that team coordination? We've heard the players talk about it a lot in interviews today, and it looks like it's coming together maybe a little bit faster than people even expected.
Yeah, one question I still have for Longzhu is what happens when they don't play poke? Because that, just like KT has been playing pretty much entirely split push this season, Longzhu, so far in the 3 games we've seen, has played exclusively poke comps. So I don't know what that means, really.
I mean, can you really stop them in the draft, though?
No, I think poke is a very effective strategy right now, don't get me wrong, but the season is long and full of many patches, Doa.
That's true. It's long and full of patches. Scary stuff, man.
You don't know what's going to be in the meta. But this is something they look very comfortable on so far. I think maybe you ban Corki from them right now.
Yeah, I mean, does that really help, though? I mean, they can just take Jace, they can...
Sure, but Lucian Jace is a lot worse than Corki.
Whoa!
Damn.
That is some burst coming out of Coco.
Yes.
Wow, Stitch was evaporated.
He was sublimated, thank you.
Evaporated? I mean, he was partially liquid at that point, I would say. He was vaporized. There we go.
He has a blue build, so he had a tear, so we know he was at least partially liquid.
That's true. Well, his tears are gone now with the rest of him. Now Expression drawing the ult out of Cuvée under turret. Gonna get more damage himself down under that. And Longzhu takes an inhibitor with little to no opposition out of Samsung. This one's pretty quickly going off the rails for Samsung.
I mean, this is impressive from Longzhu.
It
They
is.
took a Baron and an inhibitor with only 5 kills here at 28 minutes and only giving up 1, which was that, you know, it's tough to get this. They got 1 kill, Ambition, with the Graves, but otherwise, this scaling composition that Samsung has run, this is the risk of doing so. If you can't hold those outer turrets, and honestly, a lot of this probably comes down to that fight in the upper river that lost Samsung its mid tower. Yes, it was low, but this Gangplank was in a place where he had pretty efficient wave clear. You can always help out with the Ezreal ult or Lulu coming in for a couple glitter lances. And I think if Samsung had held on for about 4 or 5 more minutes, we'd be talking about a very different game.
Well, and you'd have to expect that Longzhu knew exactly that. Put the pressure on at the right time.
Yeah, they did.
They've got a big lead.
Transitioned right into the Dragon. They took away Samsung's ability to 5-stack that by taking the outer turrets and getting control over that objective. So, impressive play from Longzhu so far.
It's exciting to see. This top turret would have been taken out quickly if not for the Gangplank out. Captain Jack lucky to get out of that one. Whoa! Let this be the day you almost caught Captain Jack.
You almost shot Captain Jack.
You almost shot Captain Jack. You almost barrage Captain Jack. A double. It's kind of a cannon barrage too, so double barrage.
Well, Jack is going to heal off of hot chocolate.
He is going to get so out of shape if he keeps drinking that much hot chocolate. That is not healthy.
Yeah, Lucian is
Just
very...
see. Uh-oh! He's got his flash. Manages to get out of it with it.
He did actually flash the Bard Q right there.
Yeah.
It was coming for him.
Yeah, he knew. I'm sure he was jamming that F button as fast as he could, because you know it's got to be on F. Because that's where you always put flash.
Of course. That's
Yeah.
where I put it.
F for flash.
Chaser there too. Runic Echo's doing some work when it comes to this minion wave clearing. And this is just methodical play from Longzhu. Jack stuck around in the jungle, healed up, and didn't actually recall because they want to maintain the pressure. But Baron buff is up now. But they still have to deal with this super minion problem. However, Longzhu may decide just to back off, take the dragon, and renew their assault at a later time.
I mean, that's really it, right? I mean, you've got Baron coming up in about 1.5 minutes. Why not grab the dragon now?
Agreed.
You can force a fight that you can probably win, or at least put enough pressure on that your lanes will just continue to push while they stop you from getting the dragon. Doesn't look like Samsung may even try that, though. Yeah, I think Longzhu's just going to get an easy 4th dragon.
Yeah, Longzhu can't push out right now. It's far too dangerous. And why not just take the dragon, like you said, recall, set up the vision around the Baron, take that, and guarantee yourselves the victory. This is definitely the more boring way to shot call, but also the better way.
Well, it may be a little bit more boring, it's true, but like you said, it is the way to win the game. So I suppose if I was Longzhu, I'd probably want to do that too. Although if I was Longzhu, if I was pure, I would have a lot more kills. But 1-0-2 isn't bad, you know? He's got 20% of the kills on his team. It's okay, I guess.
So he's even.
1/5.
1/5?
That's a minimum.
He's doing better than Captain Jack, so aren't you pleased?
Absolutely. I think that's the minimum. You're 1/5 of the team, so you should have at least 1/5 of the kills, right?
And that's why I need a 5th after playing with you, Dylan.
Simple math. Rule of 50s. Oh, the culling doesn't really do a whole lot. But it's got a little cooldown. It's okay. No big deal. Oh, Spooky Ghosts and a little bit more finds Wraith. Wraith has to use that ultimate, and that's something that you'd probably rather have up for the fight in your base in a few seconds. Or the
Do you like Trinity Force Corki? Because he likes destroying your turrets.
What do those two things have to do with each other? Coco could be in trouble. Gets out with the Valkyrie, turns around on the crown.
Geez.
The damage from this Corki is just crazy.
Wow.
Well, I guess this is it, guys. Oh, big Gnarl from Expression. That was beautiful. Chaser comes in to lock down Cuvée. Yet another kill comes in for Longzhu. Oh, that was close.
That was
almost took a rocket to
very
the face.
sexy duel by Coco
I
right
mean-
there onto the GP.
I guess that's not the feeling I had, but hey, whatever floats your corky plane. Whoa! Stitch gets another one to the face, another phosphorus bomb to seal that one up, and that's it. Longzhu takes game 1. GG.
Wow, really impressive game from Longzhu. Dominant from start to finish, great first blood. You can see how well they preyed on the map movements of their opponents to take those outer turrets. I was a little worried there for a moment, but then they made everything happen and everything felt like dominoes
Yeah.
at about 20 minutes into this game, and it was all Longzhu from that point forward. Very clean closure. This is the Longzhu we expected to see this season. Top tier roster. Very nice work.
Yeah, it is.